In your headlines, the EMS held a training day at the Gustavus Lightburn. Europe and North America have detected dozens of cases of monkeypox, and leader of the opposition shared his thoughts on the left-hand directional traffic policy. From the PTV Broadcasting Headquarters in Providencial is your #1 source for news. I'm Erica Pinales, delivering the latest from across the country this Friday, May 20th, 2022, right to your door. Newswatch starts now. This EMS Week 2022 was packed with engaging activities for our communities island-wide, and yesterday starting at 10 a.m., the EMS was at the Gustavus Lightburn Sports Complex. Take a look. On May 19th, 2022, the EMS held a training day held at the Gustavus Lightburn Stadium from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. During this time, the community was presented to learn introductory first aid measures as it relates to time-sensitive emergencies. There was also a variety skill stations that allowed visitors to learn and practice CPR, as well as techniques to stop the bleed. Additionally, visitors were taught how to identify a stroke, how to recognize someone having a severe allergic reaction, and much more.
Well, today at Gustavus Lightburn, we're having the Save a Life Day with the EMS team, which we are celebrating for the entire week, which is Emergency Medical Services Week, Rising to the Challenge. So today, you'll have various tables and persons can come in and see the exhibits we have where they're showing all of the aspects of the EMS, as well as, surprisingly, I had an opportunity to deliver a baby just now with the artificial. So even if you're en route to the hospital and you are delivering, we have the capacity to be able to deliver the baby as well as get you safe to the hospital en route. So there's a number of things. So persons, hopefully everyone would have come down today and visited and be a part of our celebrations for the entire week.
Honorable Robinson was inquired on how he thinks the training workshop would benefit the visitors.
The benefit is for persons to get an up-close look at what our professionals, particularly in the Ministry of Health and EMS specifically, to see what they actually do, because a lot of the services that is offered within the Ministry of Health, within EMS, persons don't realize how important it is, as well as you get to put a face to the people that will give you service in your time of need, because it's always good to see a familiar face in your most trying time. So getting to know the persons, the paramedics, the firemen who makes up a part of the EMS team, and all the support staff, so you know who's out there working on your behalf and that's ready and willing and able to assist you in your time of need. So it's a perfect opportunity not only to learn and get your pamphlets with your information on it, but also to be able to meet the people that serves you very quietly and very efficiently.
Students were present at the workshop as the EMS team predicted, where they got the chance to learn necessary measures that might come in handy someday.
It's a good opportunity because the students might choose the career path to become EMTs and be EMS personnel, because they get to see what the persons do. So just like you have an opportunity to go to career fairs for persons a little bit older, the younger students who come here, they can get a love for medicine, for emergency response, for health and all. So even if they don't necessarily become EMTs or paramedics themselves, they could be a part of the healthcare response team as a whole. So that's something that can spark in them seeing themselves in those particular roles, in their nice uniforms and everything else that comes along with it, and helping their communities.
The children were reportedly very receptive to the teachings of the EMS and were notably very excited to be present.
They were pretty smart, everybody know how to dial 911. Everybody, know what is choking. They know, well, actually one was very smart. She knew how to do the abdominal thrusts and everything. So yes, I had a good interaction with the kids.
Prosper told Newswatch that thanks to her director, Lindsay Turnquest, EMS Week was a success and allowed for EMTs from all over the islands to interact with each other.
For our EMS Week, my director, Ms. Lindsay Turnquest, she thought it was very amazing to celebrate EMS together, being as we have different various spaces, like we have different teams and different islands. So she would travel. Well, we came from Grand Turk, myself and Mr. Pear. So we're celebrating today and tomorrow. And then she also had some crew from Provo. They went on to South Caicos. And then she have Mr. Mackenzie. He came from North Caicos. So we all just, sharing the days. Some people go there, some people go there and travel with her like that. And on Saturday, I believe she'll be coming on the last day of EMS. It's on Saturday, so she'll be coming to Grand Turk for closing.
Overall, EMS Week here in the Turks and Caicos Islands was a success, as we hear from Director of the EMS, Lindsay Turnquest.
We've had an awesome opportunity by visiting North Caicos and Middle Caicos yesterday, and we had a ball with our primary school students. We're all about encouraging our youth to think about EMS as a career option. TCI is a great country, and we have a lot of talented individuals here. We're hoping to get our younger youth involved and interested in becoming one of us. We went to South Caicos and wow, got to meet the oldest individual in South Caicos. That was an epic experience. We were able to go door to door and provide blood pressures and glucose readings, and we also were able to support the World Hypertension Day. So far this week has been extremely productive, and we've had an awesome time. Tomorrow, Friday, EMS Appreciation Day, inviting all of our stakeholders to come out and show some love to your EMS providers in all islands. I'm sure even if it's just a phone call to say thank you or stop by the base, they would truly enjoy that interaction.
We've heard much about an impending review of the left-hand directional traffic currently instated here in the TCI. Now we hear from Leader of the Opposition, who gave his views on that review.
Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Edwin Oswood, says he is not in support of government's review of the left-hand directional traffic policy. He says there are other pressing issues that deserve their urgent attention.
That is something that had to be done about 15 years ago. So, I think now it's going to be extremely difficult in the mindset of changing what they do all their lives.
In fact, Oswood says this change may cause more harm than good.
It's going to cause way more damage to change than good. And if you weigh it out, the good, okay, yes, some tourists will feel more comfortable. Yes, but how much of our local people is going to get in accidents and possible, I hate to say it, might be, loss of life or serious injury because of this change.
He says not to mention the infrastructural changes that will come into place, as well as vehicle preferences that may or may not play a role.
The easy thing is the type of vehicles that you allow to bring in, that whether it's left-hand side or right-hand. If you drive on the left-hand side, you say, well, the steering wheel should be on the right-hand side, where you almost closer, you can see more the one-side traffic instead of being inside of the road. That is something to consider. But to consider really, that is the easier one to consider. And even there, that is kind of difficult. Because, some people like the right-hand drives. We have all the Japanese cars here. And some people like the left-hand drives, even though they don't have as much sight as the oncoming traffic, but they just use the paint on the inside.
Right.
So, there are other things to consider. But considering this and putting it out there, I think it's in the wrong direction. And like I said, they need to reverse on this.
For now, government officials say it is just a review, and the public will be kept abreast of any developments going forward.
Don't go anywhere. More Newswatch when we return.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to Newswatch. The European Union and the Pacific Community launched a $1.6 million project supporting the Pacific close and the digital divides in response to COVID-19. Take a look. This project forms part of a bigger program, Digital Response Connecting Citizens, which is funded by the EU in collaboration with the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States, and implemented by the French Development Agency in coordination with the Belgian Development Agency.
COVID-19 is not yet gone, but we hope that we've seen the worst of it. We now must concentrate on building back together. I am therefore pleased to be able to be present, albeit virtually, for the launch of the direct program in the Caribbean with our partners, the European Union, CARFA, BSF, Expertise France Caribbean Export, Agence Française de Développement Régional, the delegation of the European Union, and the Caribbean institutions. Through this timely collaboration, we will finance 16 projects, which will benefit more than 50 states throughout the OACPS in the areas of health, education, and small business. By prioritizing the needs of end users and reducing gender inequalities, which are still very present in the digital world, we can transform this COVID-19 crisis into an opportunity to develop our countries.
The CARPA is focused on using the COVID-19 crisis as an opportunity to develop our countries, which can be achieved by joining collectively as soon as possible.
The DIRECT program is a digital response to the COVID pandemic, given the importance of digital technologies in tackling crisis. Since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, digital services have been providing solutions to prevent a breakdown in personal, economic, and social ties. The DIRECT program was developed by the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States and the European Union. The responsibility to implement this 15.4 million euro program, which is funded by the European Union, is that of the Agence Française de Développement and ENABEL, the Belgian Development Agency. DIRECT is being deployed in more than 55 ACP countries through 10 projects. The DIRECT program supports the connectivity and digitalization of health, education, and small business actors to better cope with current and future shocks.
The COVID-19 pandemic has witnessed the world shift to digital services to remain connected and resilient during crisis. The Pacific health sector, although facing constraints with its low digital connectivity, adapted and utilized digital mechanisms to respond to COVID-19 with the assistance from partners and donors.
In many emerging countries, the COVID-19 pandemic has particularly affected the health, education, and economic sectors, which are fundamental pillars of development. And this crisis has highlighted the critical role of digital services in keeping populations connected to their public health partners, educational institutions, and critical businesses, in keeping us connected like we are today. Under the DIRECT program, the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARFA, will set up digital health data collection systems in its member states, which will allow for the centralizing and analysis of data provided by members. The objective is to standardize, store, and make available this data to the 26 CARF member states.
The EU ambassador for the Pacific, His Excellency Sejiro Siem, said, quote, "Digitalization is a priority of the European Union, and it has demonstrated its importance to combat COVID-19. In the European Union, it has supported the health and socioeconomic response to the pandemic and has helped manage through confinements, lockdowns, curfews, closures, and etc." He continued, "Digitalization is also a priority of the European Union strategy for cooperation in the Indo-Pacific, but this part of the world is still lagging behind. I am happy that this project supporting the Pacific close the digital divides in response to COVID-19 will allow the region to catch up and facilitate the continuity of health services through more accessible and affordable digital services." End quote. SPC's Deputy Director General, Dr. Paula Vivili, said, quote, "We will be working with 7 Pacific Island countries and territories, and we have identified a few ICT gaps that we will be supporting. This includes the provision of mobile phones, laptops, tablets, projector screens, and internet subscriptions. This will support in-country activities such as contact tracing, webinars, and surveillance monitoring." End quote. The SPCDDR COVID-19 is implemented by SPC through the Pacific Public Health Surveillance Network and aims to progress the digital health systems transformation within the Pacific Island countries and territories for the immediate future and post-COVID-19 era. Stay tuned for more of this story in a subsequent newscast. Europe and North America have detected dozens of cases of monkeypox, a virus that passes from infected animals such as rodents to humans. Here's more. Europe and North America have detected dozens of cases of monkeypox, a virus that passes from infected animals such as rodents to humans. The World Health Organization said it was coordinating with health officials over the new outbreaks. Here are a few things that have been recorded about the monkeypox outbreak. Monkeypox can be caught from a bite by an infected animal or by touching its blood, body fluids, or fur. It's thought to be spread by rodents such as rats, mice, and squirrels. It's also possible to catch the disease by eating meat from an infected animal that has not been cooked properly. Fever, muscle ache, lesions, and chills are the common symptoms of monkeypox in humans. A case of the rare and potentially dangerous monkeypox has been confirmed in the U.S., with 2 new cases appearing in the U.K., bringing the total number there to 9. Health officials have noted some of these infections may be transmitted through sexual contact. The WHO and in the UK, the Health Security Agency, said recent cases were predominantly in gay, bisexual, or men who have sex with men. The agency said, quote, "We are particularly urging men who are gay and bisexual to be aware of any unusual rashes or lesions and to contact the sexual health service without delay if they have concerns." End quote. So what is monkeypox, and should you be worried? Monkeypox is a rare, usually mild infection, typically caught from infected wild animals in parts of Africa. It was first discovered in 1958 in monkeys kept for research, hence the name, with the first human case recorded in 1970, according to the CDC. The disease is a relative of smallpox, causing a rash that often begins on the face, according to the UK's NHS website. It's very unusual to catch monkeypox from a human because it doesn't spread easily between people, but it is possible to spread the disease through touching, clothing, bedding, or towels used by someone with the rash. The disease can also be transmitted by touching monkeypox skin blisters or scabs, or getting too close to coughs and sneezes from an infected person. Patients will usually need to stay in a specialist hospital so infection doesn't spread and general symptoms can be treated. There is one vaccine and one specific treatment, Seja Technologies' Tecovirimat, a drug usually sold under the brand name TPOXX, but they are not yet widely available. The incubation period interval from infection to onset of symptoms of monkeypox is usually from 6 to 13 days, but can range from 5 to 21 days, according to the WHO. Don't touch that remote, we'll be right back. Coming up next is your 3-day weather forecast.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Here's your 3-day weather forecast. For the nation's capital, Grand Turk, on Saturday, partly cloudy skies, high 83, low 77, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. On Sunday, partly cloudy skies, high 82, low 77, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. On Monday, partly cloudy skies, high 82, low 77, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. For South Caicos on Saturday, partly cloudy skies, high 83, low 77, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. On Sunday, scattered showers, high 83, low 77, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. On Monday, scattered showers, high 83, low 77, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. For North and Middle Caicos on Saturday, mostly cloudy skies, high 84, low 77, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. On Sunday, mostly cloudy skies, high 83, low 77, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. On Monday, scattered showers, high 83, low 77, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. For Parrot and Pine Key on Saturday, mostly cloudy skies, high 84, low 77, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. On Sunday, scattered showers, high 83, low 78, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. On Monday, partly cloudy skies, high 83, low 77, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. And on Providenciales on Saturday, mostly cloudy skies, high 84, low 77, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. On Sunday, scattered showers, high 83, low 78, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. And on Monday, partly cloudy skies, high 83, low 77, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Now for your sunrise and sunset. Sunrise 6:09 a.m., sunset 7:24 p.m. And for your high tides and low tides, high tides 12:27 a.m., 1:03 p.m., and low tides 6:55 a.m., 7:07 p.m. And that's it for your weather forecast. We'll be right back with more Newswatch.
Here at People's Television, we're more than just your leading news and entertainment services. We are
spreading the gospel.
We are breaking barriers.
We are preserving the culture. Each one, teach one.
We are committed to excellence.
We're creating change.
We are creating memories.
We are the future.
I am PTV.
I am PTV. I am PTV.
I am PTV.
We are PTV.
We are continuing the legacy. We are PTV.
Welcome back to Newswatch. The TCI Premier welcomed CDB and development partners to a regional meeting. Take a look. In yesterday's newscast, TCIG and CDB held the annual meeting media launch. The Premier, Honorable Charles Washington Mizik, who is the current chairman of the Caribbean Development Bank's Board of Governors, along with the bank's president, Dr. Hygienist Jean Leon, bringing remarks on the upcoming meeting.
The annual meeting is the single most important meeting in the bank's agenda. And the chair plays as equally important a role in that line by virtue of managing, as it were, the agenda for the year and helping to set the agenda for the year. And so it is with distinct pleasure that we are looking to come to TCI in just under a month's time, from the 13th to the 17th of June.
He explained that the theme was chosen as it coincides with the CDB's 4 pillars.
We narrowed this down to saying the 3 things have to work together, and they work together only in the sense that we have a holistic idea of development. So much so we could literally use the phrase, leave no paths behind. So we have to move the entirety. We move the people, we move in the social space, we move in the institutional space, we move in the productive capacity space, we move in how do we bring together different people through partnerships to help. But the idea is always that when we grow, when we move forward, we do that in a complete and holistic way so that the development is not lopsided.
The president later shared that we must work together so that when we advance as a whole.
And so the idea of focusing this year on the first of the 3 pillars, the measure better to target better, is I think just what we say you do in the TCI, you measure twice. I have a friend who says you need to measure twice and cut once. Let's do it right in the first place. That's a very easy way to understand this. But in principle, you cannot target, you cannot look to achieve if you haven't got measurement. And the better that measurement, then the better you are able to target and focus your mind in a better space. And that happens in everything we do. It is not just in economics, it happens in your regular day life, it happens in everything you do. The better you are able to measure, the better you are able to target.
The president advised that we must be willing to adapt, but most importantly, we must be resilient.
And so that's the underlying theme, and adaptation and resilience is to give a bit of a focus on one, sustainability at the broader level, that as we look to sustain ourselves, we have to be willing to adapt. And most importantly, we have to be resilient.
He mentioned that other bigger countries have a lot of support access and more benefits compared to our small nations, which allows them to recover swiftly from disasters.
When a hurricane comes through the Eastern Caribbean, like your Dominicas, it is almost certainly to hit Florida with probability 1 after about a week. We're in the same geographic zone, same vulnerability. We will be hit by the same natural disaster. But when it passes over Dominica and flattens Dominica, and everything called Dominica is gone, and everything that was used like debt to build that Dominica remains. Okay, remains. It doesn't get washed away with the hurricane. And that same storm goes and hits Florida. It hits one state. Now, even if it does a lot of damage to Florida, Florida immediately has access to FEMA, access to federal funding, access to other support that allows Florida to recover from that same Cat 5 hurricane within record time.
Making a reference to Dominica, he mentioned that because they're a middle-income country, they can't access concessional finance, which is an issue he believes we need to grapple with.
So that is the issue that I think we need to grapple with. The fact that even if you have done better, it is not how much better you are, but really your ability to recover. And that is predicated on the need for adequate and affordable financing. Call it concessional, call it affordable, whatever language we want to use. If we don't have access to that finance, we will not be able to recover fast enough to be able to continue on our development trajectory. So that's a biggish element that we are going to highlight, and I'm glad we'll be able to do this in TCI, because you face exactly the type of issues that I'm talking about here. High to middle income country, equally vulnerable to climate change and to hurricanes, and equally locked out of all access to concessional finance.
President Leon believes that this narrative can be changed if we refocus on IRS as a true measure of change.
Then I think that can make a very big change, a very big dent on the equitable access to finance for developing countries, not just in the Caribbean, but across the world.
And that brings us to the end of this edition of The Real News. I hate to leave you so soon, but of course, you can join us right back here every weekday at 6:30 p.m. and tap into our social media platforms at www.ptv8tci.com. I'm Erica Pinales, keeping you informed, updated, and affiliated. Until next time.